Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Darryl Wolf. This is DocStar TV. I'm in Collingwood, Ontario with Lori. Hey Lori?
Yes, yes.
And we just spent the afternoon. We went, Collingwood's a really beautiful place. We went and saw the ski hill. Okay.
The mountain, yep.
Yeah, we went downtown. It's got a country feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people live in Collingwood?
22,000, something in that area.
22,000, so it's not that big of a place, but it's really beautiful. Lots of countryside, right?
Yeah, lots of beautiful bike paths and
Yeah.
walking paths.
Lots of old buildings downtown.
Yeah.
Okay. We just went to eat at a restaurant. What was that called?
Press Market.
Okay, Press Market.
Yeah.
And I had organic falafel, and I had a really beautiful salad. What was the salad?
Probiotic salad. It was amazing.
Yeah, probiotic salad. So, eating right is such a delight, isn't it? Okay. Because when you eat right, you eat the light.
Yeah.
That's the delight. Delight. I eat the light. Delight. Ooh. Okay, all right, whatever, Darryl. Okay, it's Sunday. The jokes aren't that good. Okay, so anyways, we're here, and you can't see it, but this is Lori's beautiful clinic. And Lori is a Wolf non-surgical therapist. She's also a whole life coach. She's a New World practitioner. And so you took your first course, and you took that in Kelowna, British Columbia, when we had a clinic there, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I was like probably 3 summers ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Did we crack your coconut when you come?
Yeah, well, you fractured it. I don't know if it was completely cracked in half, but you definitely got a little. You definitely got into there. Yeah.
So she kind of retired, and then she found out about us, and now she's doing Perfect Day Consultations on an emotional, nutritional level. She's guiding people right from constipation to stage 4 inflammation. She does non-surgical here in Collingwood. How could people get in touch with you in Collingwood, Ontario, if they wanted to?
Well, I could be reached by email at it's LORIF like father, OXALL at hotmail.com, or by phone at area code 416-587-3954.
There you go.
Yeah.
So why did you come and take the course in the first place? Like you came and you took the whole life coach and the non-surgical, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
So why'd you take the course? Why'd you come? Because everybody comes for different reasons. You have to understand. People really do. Some people come because they want their personal coconut cracked. Some come because they want to up their game in natural medicine. Some come because guess why? They thought that they were too stupid to become a natural health doctor or practitioner because they were brainwashed to believe that. And that's the truth. Everybody has genius. Anybody can be their own practitioner. Is that the truth? It
sure is. That's what I've learned. I didn't know that before, but I've certainly learned that is very, very true. And it doesn't take a great deal of, what it takes is a little massive personal action. But
believing in yourself, and that's going to be very hard to believe in yourself because especially in this world, the deal is to observe, but not absorb. There's so much bullshit out there. And I have to say bullshit because I can't say BS. Why beat around the bush? There's so much. I mean, think about it. When you go to school, you can go to school all the way through. Are you ready for this? You can go from kindergarten all the way through to grade 12. Then you can go to college. And then you can go through for a medical doctor. And then you still don't know anything about health. How crazy is that? So now you've taken the course. You've taken the course 2.5 times because basically she took the whole life coach, the Wolf non-surgical, and she took that twice. She took the non-surgical 3 times. She just needs to do the whole life coach. And once you've done it 3 times, you become a master practitioner, which means that you actually help us train people. Understand something. We're creating an army called BraveHeart Nation, guys. And I want to tell you something right now. There's not a medical doctor that can do what we do. There's not a medical doctor that knows health like she knows it. There's not a medical doctor that can get rid of scar tissue without a knife. There's not a medical doctor that can get rid of the crystallization and put the calcification back into the bones. And understand something right now. You can believe it or not. You can go to school as long as you want. You can become a brain surgeon. You still can't get the scar tissue out of the brain unless you go in there with a knife and cut it out. And then you're going to create more scar tissue in the brain because surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. And we know how to totally get rid of scar tissue. And believe it or not, It doesn't matter where your so-called disease is in the human body, your physical problem, your handicap, whatever you want to call it. Okay, just understand it's scar tissue crystallization or calcification, and she knows how to get rid of it. There you go. And you can go bullshit. Well, you can do that all day if you want. I am having the best day of my life, but I get really tired of people thinking that they know things when the majority of the population is sick and tired and sick and fat, sick and tired. Okay, are they or aren't they? Let's just talk about this. But you just keep on going to the doctor. You just keep on going to these natural health practitioners who keep on adjusting you or putting a pin in you or they do things to you, but they don't turn things around, because unless you're eliminating the scar tissue, unless you're melting the crystallization, then you're not doing anything. You get that? Okay, because everything from arthritis to a tumor is scar tissue. And I don't care. The little limp that you just started with your knee, your ankle, your hip? Well, we can get rid of that. And we'll give you a money-back guarantee that the first treatment that Lori does, and I will back her, she'll do the first treatment on you. I don't care if you went to the chiropractor 100 times. I don't care if you went to the massage therapist. I don't care if you went to the homeopathic person or wherever you went to. I don't care. The reality is we have a technique called Wolf non-surgical, using the elbow, that goes and takes a knot or any fiber scar tissue like beef jerky, because that's what you're becoming. Old age is actually just beef jerky. Do I look like a piece of beef jerky to you? Okay, I'm flexible, I'm strong, okay, I'll be 67, I'm alert, and I'm only getting my game on right now. And I've been doing non-surgical for 40 years. Now, did you ever believe that you could ever have people coming to you that have gone to all these other practitioners, and what are they saying?
Probably, the same things that I was saying. I mean, you asked me earlier, why did I take the course? I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, and I have truly gone to every kind of practitioner and used every modality known to man. After 35 years in sales, I had sat in a car and on airplanes inordinate amounts of hours, and had all my hips tighten up on me and shrink on me, and I had trouble. We couldn't walk in the mall for 15 minutes, or I wouldn't have to sit down and just take a break. I did not want to enter into my retirement years anything but vital and alive and well. And I just didn't really know how to do it, because everything I had tried had failed me. So I started watching videos of Daryl as they would come up. And you know what? I totally get that for some people, it's a real hardcore approach and but for me, it was what I needed. I need somebody with this type of personality. I had lots of people very kind and sweet and, but Daryl, he just hits it on the head. He tells it the way it is. And I like that. Can
I say something?
Please.
Okay. So here we go. Ready for this? So Vanessa says doctors can't be good at everything. Vanessa, medical doctors are the third leading cause of death in North America. Vanessa, doctors are good at emergency care. You're telling me that they can't be good at everything? Let them just be good at one thing, emergency care. And guess what, Vanessa? Emergency care only happens 1% of 1% in healthcare. When you use a medical doctor for your healthcare, you're using emergency care. And tell me you're not into an emergency. Tell me you're not on drugs. Tell me you're not getting lined up for surgery. Tell me you're not getting screws, bolts, rods, mesh, stents. Vanessa, do you even know what you're talking about? And then she says that I should take a course in empathy. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. Everybody's not for me, and I'm not for everybody. But the reality is, I'm going to tell you something. I was just talking to a friend of mine, a health professional. I said, I can't even, the word empathy, are you like crazy? Do you know what empathy is today? Feeling sorry for people. Do you know what empathy is? I'm an empathic. Do you know what that means when people say that? I feel everything. I take on people's suffering. I don't take on anybody's suffering because I can't. If you take on people's suffering, you can't focus and you can't hold the line for them and you can't go in and heal them. You know what? Guess what? You can program people to be anything. And I'll tell you something. There's only one virus going on right now, and that's called victimitis. Vanessa, you've got it. It's got you by the butt. I love you, girl, but understand something. You know what? I just told you that we will take somebody after 22 days and they are able to do nutritional counseling, emotional counseling, Okay, and they're able to do non-surgical and offer a money-back guarantee where other health professionals and body workers never do that. Now, either I'm just a marketeer or I know something that they don't know, and that's this. It's a scar tissue issue created by inflammation, created by infection, an infectious mind where you have belief systems that are very disempowering. Think about this, Vanessa. How powerful are you? Are you able to stand in your own power? Are you able to love and care for yourself without feeling guilty about doing it? Are you healthy? Are you really healthy? I haven't been to a doctor. Okay, my parents both passed away before they were 55 of cancer. I haven't been to a doctor since I was 27 years old. I'm going to be 67. I'm going to tell you, I started off early, and the reality is this. We need leaders and we need heroes. And leaders and heroes, okay, don't go around going, no, they go out there and they hold the line. And if we don't do something different, where are we going, Vanessa? So let me tell you something. Maybe this isn't the platform for the majority of the population, and I totally agree. I totally agree. I don't want followers. I want leaders. I want people to believe that when they take my course, that they can open up a clinic right away. And they've got our support. We do 3 trainings a week. And Vanessa, just so you know, we've had over 250 higher learning schools approve us as a university. We're now a university. We can now teach and give a doctorate, PhD in biophysics, okay? All right? Doctorate of natural medicine, doctorate of indigenous medicine. You don't get that because you play Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. You don't get that because you don't hold the line. Let me tell you something. I will never be government approved, and I never would want to be. Anything that's been government approved is twisted and watered down. And guess what? It's not going to help the majority of the population. And the majority of the population is not well right now. Yes or no? This is not a time to play Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. This is the time when we need to go and try to wake up our brothers and sisters because they've been programmed. What do you think?
It sure is. And Daryl's approach is certainly not for everybody. It's radical, and when you're looking for radical change, you need a radical.
It's not radical. Leader. It's radical because the majority of the population are asleep. Yeah. The majority of the population have an autoimmune disease. 86 to 92% of the population, if you go through United States or Canada, okay, depending on the area you're in, have an autoimmune disease. That means attacking oneself. I have no disease. I don't have colds. I don't have flus. I don't have arthritis. I don't have headaches. I don't get depressed. Okay, the reality is this. The way I live my life, okay, is that it's unconditional, total, unconditional care and love for myself. And that's what I want to treat somebody. So when my friend here says it's radical, it's not radical. It's normal. It's natural. But guess what? It's not normal when the majority of the population are unconsciously killing themselves.
Yeah, true.
Let's keep it really straight, and you can tell she still needs to do some more training. Yeah. The reality is we cannot feel sorry for people anymore, okay? But we need compassion for everyone because guess what? Everybody's been programmed. And understand, you have to have compassion for everyone. And understand something, Vanessa. Have you done this? I will never hate a person. I may not like their beliefs, but I will never hate a person. I will not do that. There is no religion. There's no language. There's no color. There's no person that I could hate because of their belief systems. And let me tell you something, Vanessa. Work on that one for a while, okay? And empathy, no, I am not going to feel sorry for anyone. But if anybody wants somebody to take action and to show them how they can find their authentic self and go in and have an understanding that God gave it to us all, we just have to tap into it and light up with it. That's it. And stand in your power because you can't give what you're not. And when you become a very powerful leader, Vanessa, then your children will, your husband will, your friends will, but it's going to be very difficult. When you try to stand in your authentic power, you are going to be tested by your friends, your neighbors, family. And guess what? Because guess what? People want to be uncomfortable. Even if they're uncomfortable, they want to be comfortable. They don't want anybody else breaking from the herd. Yes or no? And guess what? The herd, the majority, okay, they are the ones that are running this planet, and it's running right into the ground. Yes or no? Okay? Look, there wouldn't be 90, are you ready for this? Okay, this is really, really great, okay? But 92 to 94% of all the food in every supermarket is toxic. 70% to 75% of all the food that's in a health food store is toxic. Now, this is because the majority of the population feels sorry for people, or they've been programmed to eat crap, right? Eat crap. Think crap, eat crap, drink crap. And people look like crap today, don't they? Do they? Let me tell you something right now. What do you do with somebody who's asleep? You try to wake them up. They might get pissed off at you because you might have woken up, the bear from hibernation. Or you might have woken somebody up and they're going to go, thank you. You're right. You're right. I need to take my life back. I'm not going to do what everybody else does. I'm going to do for me for the first time in my life. I'm going to find out what true love is. I'm going to have a relationship with myself first and foremost, and I've never had one. I'm going to make choices for myself that are high vibrational to bring the light in, to bring the frequency in, to heal myself. That's the only way I can heal my family. I'm going to hold the line and make sure nobody brings any crap into the house. I'm going to make sure the Wi-Fi is turned off. I am not going to allow the kids to take their phones to bed anymore. We're not using the microwave. All right? We're not opening anything from a can or a plastic bag or a jar anymore. We're going to try to see if we can eat real food. Maybe we could eat real food. Maybe we become real people.
No more Unstoppables and then these things, these Unstoppables, and they still smells like fresh laundry like 2 years later. I'm thinking, do not people not get that that's poison? There's nothing natural about putting something in your laundry that still smells like perfume months later. Like, it's killing people, and it's so simple, but nobody seems to be aware of this programming we have, to take poisons on without thinking because something smells pretty that's good for us. Oh my gosh.
You tell me anybody that's made any major changes on this planet where the majority love them. You tell me anybody that is allowed to love and care for themselves without being called selfish. Well, if you're not going to be selfish to know what a perfect day is from the moment you rise until you go to sleep, and then make healthy choices for yourself. If you make choices, what other people make choices about right now, you're in trouble already, okay? I already told you that, you know what, you need to wake up, okay? They're coming for us. They're coming for our children. There's poison everywhere, but the reality is I can remain totally healthy if I'm going to be strong enough and hold the line. But guess what? Oh no, I need to fit in, right? Oh, I need to feel sorry for people. No, the last thing people need right now is to be stroked. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. You need to take back your power. You need to take back your God-given gift to say no when you need to and yes to yourself. That's what you need to do. You need to make better choices. You don't need to drive into the drive-through because you're going to be driven over, okay? You're going to be driven into the ground. You need to go and find places that make great juices, or you need to make them at home. You need to make choices here. You need to make great choices. Let me tell you something. Tell me you don't feel like crap. Majority of the population is tired all the time. They feel sick all the time. They've got symptoms all the time. Well, they don't have symptoms. The body is talking to you. The body sends you signals saying, you don't love me. You don't respect me. Because if you did, you wouldn't feel sick. You wouldn't feel nauseous. You wouldn't have pain. You wouldn't have swelling. You wouldn't have redness. How am I doing? You wouldn't have stiffness at any age. And when they tell you you're doing okay for your age, guess what? Everybody else in your age is on their way out, baby. Okay? All right? Do you see a pot belly here? Do you see it hanging down and out? Okay? Do you see deep wrinkles here? Maybe right here because of the intenseness. But the reality is this. You don't have to grow old. You don't have to feel old. You decide on what you want to do and bring your game up. Because you know what? You can become the light of your life, and then you can become the light for everybody else around you. But you're going to have to find your ovaries, okay? You're going to have to find your testicles, and you're going to have to find your inner self, that authentic self, and then you're going to have to work for it. And that's it. So when my beautiful friend Lori here says I'm radical, I'm not radical. You know what? I actually teach the way that we need to live if we want to stay healthy. There's nothing radical about it.
No,
Okay, so you got to watch your words.
That's true.
Who cares about their minds? Most people aren't using their minds.
You have to watch your words.
So most people use their minds, Lori? No. How many people use their minds, Lori? Okay, remember something. Your subconscious decides how you're going to live, how long you're going to live, what you're going to die from, what you're going to be suffering from on an emotional and physical level. But meanwhile, it's not your subconscious because it was programmed from 0 to 7. And then guess what? Because you're so desperate for love, you'll do what other people ask you to do because guess what? If I do this for them, maybe they'll love me because I can't live without love. And this is why you have to love yourself. So I can't let you say those things.
True.
You can't be feeling sorry for people.
Oh, I don't.
Well, you did.
No, when I said radical.
Okay, here we go.
No, when I said radical, I'm thinking that if someone watches you, their original opinion is going to be, well, this is a very radical person. It's not that I believe you do.
Okay, but hold on a second. I get it. You know, but the reality is it's not radical.
No.
It's radical to actually drink high vibrational water, eat high vibrational food, have high vibrational thoughts. Understand that a doctor, medical doctor, is not a health doctor. He sells drugs, radiation, chemotherapy, and he refers you to other doctors that do the same. And then as you go up the line, they're more toxic and poisonous.
Sure, I think also they're a part of the problem is if you call it a problem, we've been geared as a society to tone ourselves down, to behave ourselves, to not express ourselves loudly and clearly.
Well, so I don't know. Behaving myself is standing in my power.
Well, that's what I mean. But when we come across someone who does that, we have initially, and I recognize this because it happened to me. Like that's why I tuned in and continue to tune in. I'm thinking to myself, why am I uncomfortable? Instead of
move over a little bit.
So
there you go.
When you recognize something in you, instead of trying to evaluate somebody else, look at yourself. Why is it that man makes me feel uncomfortable? What is it in me that...
Because I challenge your beliefs.
Exactly. But
because at the end of a course, the only thing that I've tried to do is make you what? Fall in love with yourself.
Yes.
Not with me. Don't follow me.
No.
No, don't do that.
No.
Just leave here with your coconut cracked where you're going to love yourself enough that so when somebody says something... for you to do something that would be disrespecting yourself, you're going to say, hell no.
Yes.
It's not happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And and it happens. It's a different way to enlighten oneself because I believe for me, anyways, I had to identify what it was in me that every time I came across a strong personality, I would be turned off by that strong personality long before Daryl's personality came into my life. So I had to assess what is it about me that has issues with that. And what I've now come into alignment with is that what made me uncomfortable is that I had that in me and I squelched it down for my entire life because I thought it wasn't attractive. People wouldn't like that. So I tried to become what I thought everybody else would want me to be instead of who I am. And so when I was with someone who could do that and use their voice and speak to it, it would make me uncomfortable in my own skin and make me almost angry at them because I wanted that.
Okay, so here's the deal, and you need to get it. I choose to stir it up. I choose to make people uncomfortable because guess what? 1 out of 100 people are going to buy into loving and caring for themselves, and the other 99 are going to sell themselves off by the pound, and they're going to look for approvals from everyone else. So they're going to be everything else and do everything else, and they're not going to do for themselves. And guess what? First of all, there is no disease in a person that has found unconditional love and care for themselves. That's it. That's it. That's it. There is not. We know that. Okay? All right? So it's the truth. You become very high vibrational. And remember something. The lowest form of getting, energy, is eating. The highest form is falling in love with yourself and going in and really taking a look at your subconscious and the belief systems that make you feel unworthy, that make you feel guilty, that make you feel bad enough to eat bad food, to drink bad drink, to try to take drugs so that you can become someone else because you can't stand being yourself, because you're not yourself, because you're running these damn programs that you've had since you were a child. And that's real science, that's real psychology, and I teach real psychology. I don't teach this other fluff stuff. You're not going to get it out of a book. When you come to my course, we never open a book. Because guess what? The only book you need to rewrite is the story that's in here. You rewrite this story that's in here, and I'll tell you something right now. I don't care. You could have failed at grade 8 and never went back to school, and there's a genius in there. You could fail when you were in grade 8 and call me up and go, do you think I could be a practitioner? Do you think I could work my way to a doctorate? I'd say yes. Where's your passion? Where's your purpose? And if you think that what you call education that the government runs as anything to do with intelligent, it's not. So we get out of school, we can't feed ourselves. We don't know how. Okay, we don't know how to love ourselves, less feed or love another person. And then we get together with another person, and then we have a child that we don't know how to love because we never knew how to love ourselves. And you also got together with that other person because you had to, because you didn't want to die, and you were dying because you didn't have any love, and that because you didn't know how to love yourself. So they set us up. So if you don't know how to love yourself, you're going to have to suck it off of someone else. And that only lasts for a year or two. And then guess what? Then you got to have dogs and cats and lots of children to fill up your heart. Whereas if you were to learn how to love yourself unconditionally and you came into a relationship, you're not sucking off of each other. You're the light that shines it on your partner. You're the light that shines it on this partner. And you become two spirit beings and not husband and wife or partners that are running around and need validation that you're worthy.
Absolutely.
And I'm radical. And I'm radical. I should be in jail.
Yeah. That's what some people would think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a whole different way of approaching life, and it's the right. To me, it's absolutely the only way to approach life. If you don't learn to love you, and that, like I said this before, saying the words, yeah, I love myself, because I used to say that. Yeah, I like myself. I think I'm a nice person. I'm a good person.
I like myself. Well, I love myself, and you got to mean it.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't say I love myself.
That means you're not going to compromise. That means you're not going to compromise. How many times do you say yes to something when you should have said no? And how many times do you say no to yourself when you should have said yes? And why don't you really just start looking at it and then tell me that I have no empathy? Okay. Why don't you just feel sorry for everything? Why don't you go out and feel sorry for everything and see how that's going to work? Okay. Just remember something. I'll be the guy at the front lines trying to protect you against yourself and everyone else. Why? Because unconditional love for ourselves and for everyone else, whether you like me or not, is not the situation. We came down here to a planet of indifference. Many different colors, many different languages, many different habits, many different rituals, okay? And guess what? And the deal was, let's see if you can have unconditional love for yourself and everyone else, because that's when you win the game. How's that working?
Well, it's starting to finally work really well. It's a practice, and what I've learned is that you never get there. This is a pathway that every day we try to gain a little bit of perspective, gain a little bit of understanding that as long as we stand in our own power and in the love of ourselves, then what ends up, it's like Daryl said, when I'm in that frame of mind where I'm feeling very, very empowered and very much in love with myself, when I go out into the world, that shines back on me. All kinds of good stuff happens. I can't say.
And what happens when you're not standing in the power of self-love for yourself and you go out into the world?
You get a whole different kind of thing. That's where your fender bumpers happen, or you get an accident, or you trip and fall down, or your knife slips and cuts your.
Or you just notice all the other miserable people.
Or miserable stuff happens to you.
Or how about this? When you're feeling really great and you're coming through the teller, and little Betty there who's checking out your goods, okay, and she's not in a good mood because maybe she's got cramps, and you just say, "Hey Betty, have the best day of your life, girl." That's what that means. That's what it all means, okay?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Or when you accept every human being for where they are because you were there at one time.
Yeah. And then you do something like that, and so many people never do that for that person, they could be having the worst day of their life, and not what you did is you just turned it around.
Let's see if you can go a half an hour without judging yourself or someone else. Understand something. Observe and learn. Judge and burn. And every time you judge, somebody's got to go to jail. Somebody's got to go to jail. And how long are you going to put them there? Is it going to be your wife? Is it going to be your husband? Is it going to be your partner? Is it going to be your children? Is it going to be yourself? And then have other people put you in judgment jail and you're still there after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? Seriously? Let's stop this.
Yeah, true that. It's, who needs that? You know, once we get that, all of it is really our ability to change the things that we have thought that did not serve us well, to weed it out and find a way to reprogram new thoughts.
Lovingly open up your mind
and to be more,
and go in and go, thanks, Mom and Dad, this isn't working anymore, and walk it over to the garburator so it just goes gone. Yeah. Listen to me. Practice unconditional love and care for yourself. I promise you won't go to hell. I promise you will not go to the hospital. I promise you won't be getting sick. And I promise you that you will be terrorized by your friends and family if you try to bring yourself higher. They will try to pull you down, but not from their heart, not from their spirit, but from their subconscious. They will trip you up, okay? Because guess what? The subconscious mind fears everything. You know what? You could be bringing in a new belief that would save your family and save yourself, and the subconscious mind's going to fight it because your subconscious mind is not smart. It just runs programs. If it runs sick programs, you're sick. Healthy programs, you're healthy. If you run wealthy programs, you're wealthy. And if you run poverty programs, which 99 out of 100 people do, you're going to complain about all the rich people, and then you're going to complain that money's so easy and blah, 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 blah. And you're just a story. But you don't understand my life. I do understand that you're telling a story. Yeah. Hey, listen, whatever house you live in, whatever car you drive, okay, whatever condition you're in, that's your story. But it's not your story. It was told by your mom and dad, and it's told by your brothers and sisters. It's told by your church. It's told by your school. So understand something. Pick higher vibrational people around you. Pick higher vibrational foods. Pick higher vibrational drink. What do you deserve? You deserve everything. You deserve everything. And when you go after it, you'll become everything. And you know what? You're saying, oh yeah, Daryl, it's so easy for you. Listen, I can't see around a corner. And this is where you're actually going to have faith in the invisible. This is where you're going to have faith inside yourself that you've got this. Okay? Make plans, but make sure that you're ready for a bump in the road to slow you down. Make sure you're ready for a quick right-hand turn, because that's God whispering, saying, get over here. It's better.
I like the word faith a whole lot more than trust. A lot of people say, I trust this and I trust that.
No,
but faith is the word you need to use.
Yeah. Not hope.
No,
okay.
That's
I hope he loves me. I hope it all works out. I hope I get the job. I think I can. How about this one, guys? I'm in the process. Oh, if I hear that one more time, I'd just like to put it into a processor. Gone. Okay. I'm in the process. Well, I hope you live to your 500, sweetheart. Yeah. Because you better crack that coconut. Okay.
I use that word a lot. Used to.
Yeah. Used to.
Used to.
Wish I coulda. Woulda. Yeah. So, anyways. Yeah. So, did you ever, when you started taking the courses, did you ever think you'd actually be treating people and be able to pull things off that other practitioners can't?
I think I started to believe that right after I got through watching you do a heart release on somebody and was able to watch someone else actually incur discomfort in a level that I wasn't comfortable with. They were probably more comfortable with than me. And then I realized that how much of this whole thing, how we've been trained to be afraid of pain, and pain is really, like it's a friend, it's not an enemy.
Anybody that runs from pain is always in pain. Yeah. Anybody that talks about pain all the time is always in pain. They're a pain. They're a pain in your ass, right? Okay. And let me tell you something. Pain is a GPS. Okay. It's a God-given gift. And when you start to get a little bit, if you could come to one of my courses, would they know how to eliminate it?
Well, I would say that's pretty darn sure they would know how to eliminate it. Yeah. And not just have someone else eliminate it. They could learn how to eliminate it.
Yeah, you could.
I did. Like, I've done miraculous things already for myself that, and Daryl asked me, well, did I believe I could do it? I did believe I could do it. And I don't even know why I believed I could. It just made sense to me. To me, it was logical that the human being that God created, the Creator made us so perfect. We must have everything in us that we need to beat all of the things that we used to beat ourselves down. We can also use, if we understand the lingo, understand the importance of what we say and how we say it.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Watch your words.
And that's a big one for me.
Your words become sentences. Your sentences get repeated. They become beliefs. They become programs. And guess what? And then you're running these programs on an unconscious, subconscious level, and you're kicking the living crap out of yourself and your family. Thank you not.
It's true. Yeah. So it is about, truly, if you could see yourself as a computer and being able to pull out one disk and replace it with a new one.
Yeah. Did you know your brain eats up more energy than anything else unless you're the master of it? Did you know that also your brain is not the smartest thing in the human body, but it's your bacteria? Did you know that your brain only runs programs, and you can pull a program out and put a new one in if you're willing to repeat it long enough and strong enough? That's why people come to me to crack the coconut. Okay. Did you know this? That 90% of what you do, okay, was based on from when you were from 0 to 7, and you got it from other people. So did you also know that you're running belief systems because you needed to protect yourself when you were younger, or when you were a girl, okay, younger girl, you need to protect yourself from the world. Now you need to get rid of those old programs because they're screwing your life up and screwing your relations up. Okay? Think about the different beliefs and programs you got from living with other guys, going out with other guys, and now you're with your partner here. And do you notice that there's things you say and things you do that he doesn't understand, and he's just shaking his head? Because you still haven't gotten rid of those programs, or he hasn't gotten rid of his programs either. You know, you can be 90 years old and you're doing programs from 0 to 7 that you wished you would have gotten rid of, because your life would be better. And if you want your life to be better, remember something: you are the miracle. We see miracles every day in every one of the clinics where people come to take our courses. You are the miracle, and you can become a miracle every day, and you can see miracles. You know what? Your belief systems are creating a perception. And if those belief systems are low vibrational, then you will go out and you will see piles of crap and things everywhere that you don't want to see. Where I walk out into the world and I see everything I want to see, which is gorgeous and beautiful. So your perception is everything, but your perception is built on your belief systems that aren't your belief systems. Unless you went and got your coconut cracked. Unless you're going to go to brainwash boot camp, okay, and become your own leader and stop looking for one, okay, then you're following a herd. And remember something: when you go to the doctor and he says something to you, he's going by statistics, and he's also talking about the majority of the population, which is asleep. And they eat anything, and they drink anything, and they react and attack, okay, emotionally, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is why the world is topsy-turvy, and it's not going to change, but you could change. But you're going to have to go, I got to be selfish enough to go in and open up that beautiful brain. And then I've got to get rid of these belief systems that are creating the program. But here's the deal. If you get rid of belief systems, you're also going to have to get rid of different habits you do. You're going to have to get rid of some people that you might hang around with, and you might not be visiting some family, because guess what? You know, the family that you go to visit and you go, you know, I'll just make a phone call for an hour. Then I'm trying to bring myself back and get my energy back for 3 days. Well, there could be a problem here. Okay. And that's this: we are light, energy, electrical, magnetic beings. So respect your vibration and understand when you walk into a room, okay, if your spider senses say, what am I doing here? What are you doing there? Okay, if you get yourself into something and it says, what are you doing here? Why are you drinking that? Why are you eating that? Okay, you have to protect yourself from yourself. But that self I'm talking about are belief systems, dishonoring, disrespectful ones that you got throughout your life that you don't even know that are in there.
It becomes mindful. You have to become mindful of everything you do, and we are running like little robots, and so stepping out of a person once said to me, you know, when I look at you and I feel like you're like a rat on a wheel, and that's what I was like a rat on a wheel, and I believe that I observe many people doing it as well, without having any realization that they've literally just become a a part of a system. They've entrenched themselves in the system. So to think outside of the box, to think outside of the system, to imagine that there's something different than that is a big leap sometimes. And it you know, you need a bridge.
It's not easy, and my heart goes out to every one of you, because you're all doing your best with what you have. So be very easy on yourself. Do not disrespect yourself. Do not judge yourself, and do not let others judge you harshly and take that in. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. Okay, you have belief systems you don't know you have, so you better watch it. And the reason why is, guess why? Because we're in the present moment 2% of our day. Unless you take a brainwash course that's going to go in and crack your coconut open so that you can reconstruct and become the master of your emotions, energy and motion, then guess what? Just buckle up, baby. It's going to be bouncy. What?
Well, it's empowering. I'm laughing because the truth of it is empowering. I spent a good deal of my life in a, you know, what do they call it? Come to my pity party, you know, like poor me victimization. And I think we all have had terrible things happen to us. I mean, I can give you my poor me story. It was just, nobody cares, and nor should they care, because we all have our stories. The point is...
Oh, no, there will be people that care.
Well, yeah.
But as soon as you're done, they'll want to tell their pity story too. And guess what? Pity people hang together.
Yeah.
Okay, BraveHearts hang together. Do you understand?
I do.
And so you got to take a look at the people you hang out with, because you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. And that's science, right?
Yeah. I think so. There was somebody that said this, you know, we all have these little profound things that we hear that stick with us. And it was about if you dwell in the past, to live in the past is to, and to live in the present. Oh yeah, to live in the past is to live in regret. To live in the future is to live in fear. So all you have now is the present, and it's really true, because most of the time we do have regrets from the past. Which, what a waste of time!
I don't regret anything.
What a waste of time!
I don't regret anything.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you, if I've hurt somebody, I will apologize, but I will never go, I'm so sorry, because I'm not. Okay, and that you know, when I left here before COVID. Before I left before COVID, when I went down to Mexico, there was only one sorry with Canadians. Now after COVID, now it's I'm so sorry. Tell me I'm wrong.
There's a little of that going around,
Yeah. Well, look what's happening to the country.
Because we're so sorry.
That's right.
It's a mess. We're so sorry.
So sorry. You're going to be so sorry, okay, if you don't find the glory of love for yourself. You're going to be so sorry, okay, unless you change your story.
Lori.
Right.
You changed your story, Lori.
You changed your story, Lori.
Yeah, I
okay.
did. I changed my story.
You
Lori.
did, yeah.
No more story, Lori. No.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, it's a beautiful experience to become
radical.
To become radical.
To become radical.
Radically loving oneself. Yes.
Yes, radical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And you know, I did stir it up. I tried to stir it up.
You've been way worse.
I know, way worse.
You did pretty well.
Yeah, I know. It's Sunday.
Yeah, he's really nice on Sundays.
Yeah, just on Sundays. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Come and see me in Collingwood.
Yeah, come see Lori in Collingwood. Yeah. And what do you want them to call you or no?
Yeah.
What's your phone number?
416. I'll give you.
You gotta say it slowly though.
Yes, 416 587 3954.
Yeah, and if you don't get her phone number, you can always call me. I'm extension 5 on our 800 number. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you want, my number is 469-861-9454, and it's also on WhatsApp. Okay, and check us out at BraveHeart Nation, because we got a course coming up, right?
We do.
So Lori's got one more whole life coach certification, and then she's been to the course 3 times. And then she can come and she can help us train, okay?
Yes, I'll become a master practitioner, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah. So we'll be in Barrie, Ontario. We've got 2 spots left in the whole life coach. We got 3 spots left in the Wolf non-surgical, and we got 4 spots left in the woman's Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention 3-day course.
I took that course too. It's amazing. That ladies on it.
Yeah.
Amazing. I can't say enough about it. If you have any issues at all with respect to, aging, some of the things that start to affect us as we get older, and even when we're not older, like anything to do with pelvic floor issues or dryness or not able to.
If you want to bring the thunder down under, back home.
Yes, lots. Oh no, really fantastic. Really, really wonderful healing things in that course. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Pelvic restoration and healing. Yeah. Beautiful.
And I would highly recommend that you buy into loving and caring for yourself. And go check out the BraveHeart Nation quote in my website in my library. Go to the 4 pillars of the perfect day and then take a look at the BraveHeart quote, okay? And, just a little bit of it is, I will love, honor, respect, protect, and forgive myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. 3, 2, 1. You got this, Bravehearts. Have a beautiful night. God bless.
Thank you.